Made the decision to become an EMT in 2013. You see a lot of stuff that a normal New Yorker won't see. You see people at their worst.
A man runs towards a woman on the platform and shoves her onto the tracks right in front of an oncoming train.
In the last year, my job has definitely become more dangerous than what we're accustomed to.
Another New Yorker is a victim of a violent attack.
You know, as people go out into the streets now in New York, given the fact that the COVID restrictions are being loosened, they're walking into a dangerous situation. Why? Because they haven't lived through the 70s, the 80s, and the 1990s.
Yeah, I love New York, but it feels different. It just feels dangerous on the streets now.
Not only do I feel it getting more dangerous, I personally see it on a first-hand basis getting more dangerous. Shootings, stabbings, they're going through the roof. The calls that have been increasing for us most recently have been assaults. A lot of bystanders just walking down the street and just getting assaulted by some random person that they don't even know.
A father holding his daughter's hand in broad daylight, the gunman reaches out of the window and opens fire. The little 4-year-old can be seen running for her life.
This is a mentality that we're dealing with, right? Where people have no regard for anyone.
An officer smashed on the head with a fire extinguisher, another blatantly run over.
I tell people, if they attack the police, they don't give a damn about you.
Say crime is up 45%. It's up much more than that because 45% is what they're reporting. Okay, it's not what's happening. There are plenty of people who get mugged in the street daily. There are plenty of women who get raped who do not go to law enforcement.
The Staten Island Ferry used to be a place where a couple could go to Manhattan Island and have a great night and take it back and not have to pay anything. Now, I'd rather pay the Uber. People approaching you, willing to accost you. They have nothing to lose. They know they won't get in trouble.
Public safety is the precondition for urban life. You are not going to get a strong economy unless you bring safety back. Urban life, like in a pedestrian city like New York, depends on restaurants.
If people don't feel safe on the streets in New York, they're not going to want to go out, go to restaurants, spend money. They're not going to want to visit New York from out of town. So keeping the city safe and clean is probably the most important thing.
When you feel safety, then you feel comfortable, come out, right? But if people ask you, hey, let's go for dinner. No, I don't feel safe. I don't, coming out.
If they are unwilling to go out, it's like being in a permanent coronavirus lockdown, and you get a vicious spiral down where there's fewer and fewer people on the streets, which sends a message to criminals that there's nobody watching them. The subways in New York are symbolic of where New York is at any given point. Kids know that they can do whatever they want in the subway with impunity and that there's nobody in control.
Tourism, in many ways, is the lifeblood of New York. You don't see any tourists now. And they're not going to come if the perception of unsafety remains.
And the city will remain a ghost town. The more it's a ghost town, that more it sends the message to criminals that if they hang out there long enough, there'll be nobody else around to prevent a crime. The police aren't there. That's sending the message to criminals that they own the space.
So I'm afraid we're going to continue to see a higher level of crime in New York City.
I would really love for the city to care about the city again. Bring crime down, stop the shootings, get control on things, fix the streets.
That's one of the fundamental needs of each human being, is the feeling of safety. So we need to get New York under control at any point between now and now.